Hi again everyone, here's a drum lesson for Yer Killin Me by Remo Drive. The first main beat for the verse goes like this. Before we move into the next drum beat, there's just a little fill. Then the next beat has an off-kilter snare drum. Instead of being on beat 2 and 4, it's on the end of 2 and the end of 4. Then we want to add to that beat sizzle hi-hats on beat 2 and beat 4. You can think about it as just bringing your hi-hat down on beat 3 and beat 1. That way you'll get a nice sizzle on 2 and 4 hopefully. Then we straighten the whole beat back out and just play 4 on the floor. And then to that groove, we want to add sizzled hi-hats on the end of 2 and the end of 4. Then we have some hits with the band where the drums are going to follow along with what's going on in the riff. The first 2 bars are a bar of 4/4 and a bar of 3/4. Then we go back to 4/4 for the next 2 bars. Then in the next 2 bars, it's 4/4 and 3/4 again, and then back to 4/4. I'll play it slowly. The next 2 bars in 4/4. Then 4/4, 3/4 again. And then 4/4 to round us out. I'll play through that whole little section. From there, it's all the way back to the top and we're going to use a bunch of stuff that we've already done. But first up, let me look at a little fill that happens in the first section when we're playing 4 snare drums to the bar. And then at the end of that section this time through, there's a bit of a stop on beat 3. From there, it's into the off-kilter snare drum again, then adding the sizzle to beat 2 and beat 4 of that beat. Then we straighten it out again, and then we add the sizzle again, and then right at the end of this section, here's how we're going to stop it up. That takes us into the next section, which has the guitar riff that has a bit of an island vibe. For starters, we've just got a crash cymbal and kicks, 4 on the floor. Then, keeping the kicks going, we're going to add floor tom over the top, mimicking the rhythm of the riff. Then to that, we're going to add snare drum on beat 2 and beat 4. We keep building those drums until eventually we end up on the crash cymbals, and there is a stop where the drums drop out for 2 bars, so I'll show you how that goes. Two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Then, getting even more creative with this same rhythm, we switch it down onto the kick drums and we're going to keep the quarter notes going with the hands. Then we move that same pattern, but over onto the ride cymbal. Before we ramp it up one more time, there's a little fill, and here's how it goes. Then we're taking the same rhythm, moving it to crash cymbals and kick drum, and just moving the snare drum onto like a half beat backbeat on beat 3. This is how it sounds. And we A-B that pattern with the 4 snare drums to the bar. For the very last part of that section, we keep that same rhythm going right throughout and turn it into a little fill down the toms. This outro makes me feel like I'm sitting on the deck of a ship out at sea. I think mostly that's because it's in 3/4, and on the drums we can play with the floor tom and maybe a rim click or something like that, and the pattern is very straightforward. There's only kind of 2 things that you need to know, so I'll show them real quickly. And that should be enough to get you through to the end of the song. So there we go, that's a quick breakdown of the drums to Yer Killin Me by Remo Drive. It is pretty fun because there's lots of different ways to play those same rhythms, and it's interesting to kind of experiment with moving that stuff all the way around the kit. So hopefully you have fun with that one. Happy practicing, and I'll see you at the next lesson.